It is a colonial language, but we actually been requested to say something because there are some other people here who are so much interested in what we said. Our topic is the issue of corruption as far as leadership in Nigeria is concerned. I expressed my own understanding. I said corruption does not spare any other country. And the human being, as you see him, as long as you don't implement the rules and the regulations of the country, don't think you can stop him. Human being can turn into anything. Sometimes he can even become animalistic. He even kills in pursuit of his own interest. It's universal, it's all over the world. That is why you find the world in crisis today. In Nigeria, you can really see somebody whose salary is not more than 300 naira a month. You find him having many houses, many cars, and everything. Nobody can believe what recently happened. A former accountant general of the Federation in Nigeria, who is accused and before the court of law for stealing over 109 billion naira, was last 3 weeks turbaned by the emir of Kano in Kano. Great celebrations, and the people were celebrating what actually was not in our character. This is something entirely new to us. You can't believe this. People claim that Nigeria has no money. Nigeria has money, but Nigeria has mismanagement. The leaders are not sensitive. National Assembly is not sensitive at all. And not only that, if care is not taken, future elections will be very, very difficult to be conducted in Nigeria. You queue up, you vote. At the end of the day, the final decision will be taken by a number of few people at the tribunal. You move for appeal, then you move even to the Supreme Court. And for every stage you go, it is expenditure. I assure you, expenditure of the lawyers and the others. And not only that, every part of Nigeria today is soiled. The ordinary voters are affected. People who are conducting elections affected. INEC people affected. You can't believe this, and even our malams are affected. As long as we don't use our laws, we don't take care, we don't punish those who are offenders, then only God knows where Nigeria is moving to. We blame the bandits every day. Why do we blame them? They risk their lives. Then what of these people in government houses well protected, but looting treasury every day? And when we see them, we almost worship them, we praise them, we sing about them, we dance for them, we create drama for them. This was not the culture of Sokoto Caliphate. This was not the culture of Sokoto Caliphate. Somebody came here and met Muhammad Bello during his own time. He couldn't believe that was the Caliph. He said, I'm looking for the Caliph. He said, this is the Caliph. He said, no, you can't be the Caliph. He said, I'm the Caliph. What we were told is during the government work, they use the government light. Then during their private work, they use their private things. How do we expect Nigeria to move forward? And we don't blame ourselves, including myself, university lecturer, doesn't attend the lectures, is always busy following politicians, becoming the scribe of politicians, waiting for? No, hand out. Something is really wrong. We have to think. I can't believe this. How can somebody justify to me and tell me that 500 cows being moved, nobody will trace their steps, no dust, and they disappear? And you tell me former director, NSO another, former director, NSA another, former NSA another, director of military intelligence, former another. Yet something is wrong.
Financing and empower marginalized groups. Governor Obasani at the event disclosed that over 2.5 million accounts have already been opened and nearly 7 million citizens registered for national identification numbers to facilitate financial access.
True financial inclusion is about granting individuals and communities the means to participate meaningfully in the economy, break the cycle of poverty, and elevate their quality of life through access to essential financial services. The last speaker made it clear that opening accounts is only one aspect, but ensuring the people that have accounts benefit from social intervention is key to economic empowerment.
Reflecting on his tenure as chairman of the Senate Committee on Banking and Financial Institutions, Governor Sani said he sponsored the Banking and Other Financial Institutions Act, BOFIA 2020. He pointed out that the legislation brought fintech companies under the regulatory oversight of the central bank, helping expand digital financial services to underserved communities.
I want to say here that before the amendment, BOFIA Act was 29 years obsolete. It wasn't in line with global best practice. And if you go around the countries around Africa, no country in the world, not even Africa, will leave their BOFIA Act, Banking and Other Financial, to stay even for 5 years without amendment. A lot has happened since fintechs were brought under the severe regulatory oversight. They have expanded their operations and have been reaching many Nigerians who are formerly outside the financial services system. Fintechs have been supporting the financially exploited populations in Kaduna State and Northern Nigeria in general by giving them access to mobile wallets and banking services, which include access to credit and donor agencies' interventions program.
The representative of Vice President Kashim Shettima commended Kaduna State for taking the lead in access to financial inclusion services, especially through the executive order on financial inclusion passed by the governor.
Your Excellency, Kaduna State, under your visionary leadership, has committed to the expansion of economic and financial inclusion and give it the utmost priority. And this is evident by your issuing the first executive order on financial inclusion by any state government in the country at the very start of your administration. Let me use this opportunity, therefore, to congratulate the governor and the good people of Kaduna State for playing a leading role in access to finance in Nigeria.
On this platform, I'm therefore pleased that the government of Kaduna State is strongly committed to leveraging financial inclusion as a formidable tool to fight multidimensional poverty in the state. The state leadership can further deepen financial inclusion of its citizens by promoting expansion of mobile banking and agent banking network services at state level.
The Kaduna State government believes that through financial inclusion, the root causes of insecurity will be addressed, which are unemployment and inequality. The state has pledged to intensify efforts in expanding financial inclusion as a strategy to lift millions out of poverty. Nisi Gabriel, Arise News, Kaduna.
And so these are all the things that are happening. So there are reasons for everything. That, for instance, all the noise you're hearing now about politics in Akwa Ibom, Edo State, Rivers State, the rest of it. It's funding. Elections are coming. Who will man the purse? I was speaking with Obasanjo one time and he told me, he said, he listed some things. I said, those are the things that are necessary to find the chat. Should I find the chat?
Find the chat. That will be interesting.
I'm just going to read the chat. He said, so no, for him, it was like he thought I was going to go into politics. So he was very happy when I was talking with him. He said, Ali, I'm happy that you are now.
I don't know what kind of witchcraft you practice, because I was going to ask you
about the relationship with him.
No, not just about him. You said he thought you were going to go into politics. I was going to ask you why.
Why I did not. Okay, so no, I'll get to it. So he says, hey, wait, okay, yeah. He says, Ali, yeah, I'm going to read that. Ali, I'm happy you are catching on with politics, but you still have a lot to learn. And I said, like what, sir? He said, like how you get governors and presidents elected. So you need 7 governors to win an election. Lagos, Bayelsa, Delta, Rivers, Kano, Kaduna, and the CBN governor.
To win at federal level, a presidential
election. You need 7 governors. 1, Lagos. 2, Bayelsa. 3, Delta. 4, Rivers. 5, Kano. 6, Kaduna. 7, the CBN governor.
So you just, without, even if you are a political novice,
you know what all this means.
Understand the permutation.
Exactly. And so when I said, but Kano and Kaduna don't have much. He said, that's for numbers.
For numbers. True. For numbers. At federal level, a presidential
election. You need 7 governors. 1, Lagos. 2, Bayelsa. 3, Delta. 4, Rivers. 5, Kano. 6, Kaduna. 7, the CBN governor.
So you just, without, even if you are a political novice,
you know what all this means.
Understand the permutation.
Exactly. And so when I said, but Kano and Kaduna don't have much. He said, that's for numbers.
For numbers. True. For numbers.
He said, and what is money? That's numbers too. All right. He goes to say, you need 44 of the most popular senatorial districts. He said, you need to have awarded 10 contracts, and 15% of that contract can give you marginal impact at the polls. And you must award these contracts in your first year of assumption of office.
Whoa.
Because if you don't do that, then you can't ask the people for anything. Because when you give them at the first year of your getting into office, when it's time for elections, you just tell them, do you want to continue this contract, or they know what to do. He said, you must name your CGN, you must name your IGP, you must name your Controller General Customs, you must name the head of the NNPC, you must name your CBN governor. And if you want to get into the judiciary, you must suspend pending cases of corrupt past governors who are loaded. Don't forget that those guys have chests.
War chests.
War chests that's just sitting down waiting for who they want to align with. No matter how much EFCC milks from them, they still have plenty. These are people who were sitting on a monthly federal allocation. Don't forget that sometimes when, your federal allocation, like some states will mention, when they get their federal allocation, they don't touch it. They actually add to it because their state internally generated revenue is higher than what the federal gives to them. So if federal government gives them 3 naira, they can add 4 naira to it and spend 7. So when they leave office, EFCC can't come look for them because they added money to what federal government gave them. But you see that internally generated revenue, that is their sweat, as it's called. It's their money. They generated it themselves. They can determine anything they want to do with it. Lagos State internally generated revenue is higher than what federal government gives them.
So Obasanjo seized it for like forever.
They call this bluff.
Nobody cared.
They call this bluff. That's what we used to pay salaries. Just, And then it says, yes, this is the meaty part of it. Say, get US or China support. Because of their businesses in your country, they would support whoever. You had the fallout from the Senate in this thing that said how they helped Buhari to get into office and remove Jonathan. National Association of Nigerian Students. NANS. Market Women. NURTW. Unsettled the organized labor.
Settle or unsettle?
Unsettle. Now, organized labor is where you then have people who protest. We are not this, we are this, and we are supporting that. We don't like this. All of that. There's one other. Get 10 of the richest Nigerians on your side. And we know the usual suspects. Infiltrate opposition parties and let them decamp before election. So, you have your party. I want to infiltrate the party. I'll send my people to leave my own party and join your own party before the elections. So when the time of elections comes, they will then disrupt the whole thing. They probably will be the ones they put in charge of electioneering campaign. You won't know that the reason they decamp from that side was to make sure that your own campaign doesn't succeed. So when you are planning and saying, no, this is what we'll do this, they inform those people that this is what they plan to do. So by the time...
And later on, you will hear they are going back to their old party.
Exactly. then somebody did it when he said, he was supposed to be, I think Ashiwaju's campaign guy. Then he left to go and support the guy from Kano. Sometimes when these people say some things, you have to respect this. Infiltrate opposition parties and let them decamp before them. Buy delegates 1 year before your congresses. 1 year before the congresses, buy them. So I asked, how do you buy congresses? It's okay, so this is what you do. You know who and who will be selected as delegates. You can permutate and say, this man will be delegates in another 4 years. You give 2 of his daughters jobs in a bank. You give this other person's wife a shop in so and so place. This other person wants to go to Hajj, they go to Hajj. This one wants to do something. When the time for election comes and you say, this is the person I'm supporting, because of those people that you have given, they won't mess up. While some people are trying to raise money to give dollars to some people, you already have bought their loyalty since. Have a hand in appointing all party chairmen, all parties chairmen, all parties. So it's not, so when you hear that 2 people are gunning for an office and you are not in the party, you call the other parties running against him, say, you want to be chairman, we'll fund you. Right. Secure INEC and state rec, blogs and social media, religious leaders, royal fathers, appointment of board of chairmen and DGs. It says, refer to number 2. Get 4 constitutional lawyers on retainership.